Happy day, happy day, happy day. Happens to be Thursday. All things healing podcast and video. This morning I want to talk about trauma bonding. This is a requested video. So let me give you the definition of trauma bonding. I'm going to tell you a story about myself and something about someone else I saw. It happened in real life. Trauma bonding refers to a strong emotional connection that develops between a person and their abuser, particularly in situations of intense, prolonged stress or abuse. This bond can create conflicting feelings of loyalty and dependence, even when the relationship is harmful. Overcoming trauma bonding is a complex process, often requiring support, professional guidance. And I'm going to give you some strategies. Can't talk this morning. Some strategies if you are in a trauma bond, or maybe you didn't even realize you were in a trauma bond. So there was a time when I was in several relationships where this was happening, trauma bonding, and I could not understand why I couldn't leave this person alone. And as I look back on my life, I had several relationships that were trauma bonds. The very first relationship I was in, fresh out of high school, I was in a relationship with someone that was older than me. And in this relationship, it was a lot of abuse. It was a lot of abuse. This person put his hands on me several times, and I just stayed. Like I could not leave this person, and I couldn't understand why. And then I thought back to my childhood and what I saw growing up, and I saw men just abuse women, and the women stayed. So I figured it was okay because I saw this, right? We learn by what we see, not really what by people tell us, right? Because our parents can tell us, well, don't do this, don't let anybody do that, and you're like, okay, but you do it, And so with that, those are some things I saw growing up. So I learned, so that was my belief. I couldn't change the circumstances, right? But I can change the way I look at it. So back then, the circumstances were love hurts. Love, you got to deal with, you got to put up with a lot of stuff if you love somebody. Like, that's what people do. Men, they probably cheat on you, they might beat on you, and you love them, you probably can change them. Or you love them, you stay. Because where is she going to go? What else she going to do? Who else going to want you? Right? It just eats away at your self-esteem, your everything, your confidence, all of that, right? So that was the first one. The second one, me and this person, the relationship was over. I don't know what we were holding on to. The relationship was over. We both was doing our own thing, right? And I think when this person found out what I was doing, it was like shocking to this person. And I remember the hardest slap on my face, right? Stayed, right? So I stayed. Trauma bond. Then skip a couple. Now all of my relationship wasn't like this, but a good bit of them was, right? Enough, right? Enough is enough. The last one with the physical abuse, this person, we was in a relationship for several years, and we really started growing apart. We started wanting different things, and it was just all the signs, here's the thing, all the red flags be there. We still just get back in that bed, and we still just put up and endure because we just feel like that's what we're supposed to do. Let me just talk about me. I feel like that's what I was supposed to do. This person, we was coming from a club one night, and we had an argument. They got out of the car. I let them. I came home, got in my bed, and woke up to this person's hand around my neck, literally pulling me up out of the bed. The fingerprint nails was in my skin, like it was cutting. I called the cops. The person was arrested, and guess who was there to pick him up? Me. Trauma bonding at its finest. And you lie to people, right? You don't tell people that the person, and here's the thing. A lot of these shows I watch, and these are things that happen in real life to young ladies. They don't tell anybody they're being abused because they probably are ashamed and embarrassed, and they're not ready. They have that trauma bond, and they're not ready to leave. Tell somebody, okay? Because a lot of women are not coming home. They're coming home in a casket. They're coming home in a body bag. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, leave in a safe manner, okay? Plan an escape. Create an escape plan to get up out of there. because you don't deserve that. Nobody deserves this. So let me get into the strategies now. Eventually, in a minute, this person, the relationship was complete, right? But all the signs were always there. Sometimes we ignore them. So don't ignore the signs, okay? Because some people, if they can't have you, they're willing to take you out and themselves sometimes. So just be mindful of that. So I want to talk about the different strategies. First, acknowledge the bond. Recognize and acknowledge that a trauma bond exists. Understand that it is a common response to prolonged exposure to abuse. Okay? Educate yourself. Learn about trauma bonding and the dynamics of the abusive relationship. Understanding the psychological aspects can be empowering. Seek professional help. Consult with a therapist or a counselor experienced in trauma and abuse. Professional guidance is crucial for navigating the complexities of trauma bonding. Establish boundaries. Set clear and healthy boundaries in relationships and recognize when behavior is harmful and establish limits to protect yourself. Build supportive relationships. Cultivate relationships with friends, family, and support groups outside of the toxic relationships. Because a lot of times they don't want you to have anybody but them, okay? Having a support system is essential for healing. Self-care practices. Prioritize self-care to nurture your physical and emotional well-being. Engage in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Journaling. Journaling can be a helpful tool for processing emotions, gaining clarity about your experiences. Focus on personal growth. Invest time and energy in your personal growth. Develop your interests, skills, and sense of identity outside of the toxic relationship. Challenge distorted beliefs. Examine and challenge distorted beliefs that contribute to the trauma bond. Develop a more realistic and empowering perspective on your worth and capabilities. Create a safety plan. Remember, I talked about that. Create a escape plan, but create a safety plan. If the relationship involves physical danger, develop a safety plan with the help of professionals. This may involve seeking refuge or involving law enforcement. Therapeutic modalities. Explore the therapeutic modalities such as cognitive behavioral therapy, that's CBT, eye movement, desensitization and processing, EMDR, which can be effective for trauma recovery. Gradual detoxification. Gradually reduce contact with the abuser. This may involve physical separation and limiting communication to regain independence. Remember, overcoming trauma bonding is a process that requires time, patience, and professional support. If you or someone you know is experiencing an abusive relationship, consider reaching out to local resources or a helpline for immediate assistance, okay? Reach out for help. And that is all I have. I wanted to share that this morning because this was a requested video, a requested topic to talk about trauma bonds. A lot of times we don't know what they are, right? I didn't know I was in a trauma bond. I was in trauma bond for decades, in and out, in and out. And this person, even though the relationship was over, I could not let go. And it also can be a soul tie as well. So those two kind of go hand in hand, right? I hope this was helpful, and I hope it brings awareness to the issue. I see so many young ladies who are murdered. They're out there, they're getting murdered, okay? They're thinking that this person they can save, they can fix this person is abusive, and they end up killing them. This young lady was in an abusive relationship with this man, and she was living with him and his mother. And there was like he'll go to jail, she'll get him out, he'll go to jail. She said, I'm trying to leave, she was telling everybody, I'm trying to leave, I just can't leave. Trauma bond, and guess what happened to her? He ended up, the last time he went to jail, he got out, he ended up killing her. So she's no longer here. Don't let that be you. If you find yourself in a relationship, in an abusive relationship, I pray that you get out safely and alive. Because a lot of these young ladies, they're not. And that ain't love. Somebody putting their hands on you and beating on you, that ain't no love. They don't even love themselves. That ain't love. And you can't fix them. You ain't going to fix them with your face either. Okay? You're not going to fix them with your life. So make sure that you get out of there alive. Okay, that's all I got. Have an amazing day and stay in peace.